Do you ever feel like a fraud in your own body? Like you're constantly trying to find something to save you from yourself? Well, then keep watching. For the longest time, I felt like a fraud in my own body. I was so confused at how I could feel a multitude of emotions within the period of one day. I could go from feeling so joyous to a split second feel so sad. And then I could go straight into happiness and then a split second turn into anger. And I was so confused, so very confused. For the longest time I believed that you had to be one, I don't even know how to explain it, you had to be one self and you had to be perfect. And in my mind, perfect was, had to be happy all the time. And if you weren't feeling happy, then something was wrong. That was my mentality. And that's really what pivoted me into this journey of trying to understand my emotions and realizing that I wasn't a fraud in my own body. I was being honest in my own body. I was being honest to my emotions. But the issue was I was not allowing them to come. Because as soon as I felt anger, I was like, no, I shouldn't be feeling anger. Squash that down. As soon as I felt sad, squash that down even further. And they're all just sitting down there and I'm like, nah, they're fine. They're fine. It's so funny now because if you know me now, I am very open about everything I feel, think, say, and do. Even if they're not the right way, I'm just very honest to myself now. And because I switched that mentality from fraud to honest. I switched that mentality from this one boxed individual to this limitless, open being who is allowed to express themselves and feel everything they feel. Because it's okay. It is okay to be sensitive. And that's even a label on that. You don't even need to label it. Just it's okay to feel everything you feel. Even if you don't understand why you're feeling it, feel it. Because the moment you push that down, squash that down deeper, it's just bubbling in there. And it's actually stopping you from experiencing some pretty amazing things. When you are feeling all that you are being all that you are. You feel sad? Feel sad, even if it doesn't make sense of why you're feeling sad. Sometimes we don't need to know why we're feeling these things. That was a very big shift in my perspective. It's okay to not know, because if you open it up on a bigger scale, nobody knows what they're doing. They can think they do, but we don't know. We're floating in the middle of space. I am a philosopher. I want to discover and I want to understand everything. And as I went on this journey, I realized the more I know, the less I know. And it's just like realizing that you are allowed to feel all that you're feeling. You are allowed. You need to give yourself permission to feel all of this, even if it doesn't make sense. Give yourself permission, please, because it'll save you from feeling boxed in. Someone stepped on your toe and you feel like, oh, why'd you step on my toe? Feel it. And then you can reflect on it if you want to. Because the more you allow yourself to feel, the more you open yourself up to being okay with everything. Because the moment that you tap into just being who you are, being what you are, the more you're able to realize that you're so connected with everything around you. The more things that used to irritate you don't irritate you anymore, because you're allowing yourself to feel in that very moment. And then when you start feeling in the very moment, you can realize and be like, oh, it's not even that big of a deal. And then the more you start feeling in the moment, you start realizing things seem to just go through, just seem to float through. You can realize that I'm not reacting certain ways anymore because there's no built up anger or sadness in you anymore. You realize there's a turning point. When you dive into these emotions that have been pressed down because you have not allowed them to come out, once you start to free those emotions, those feelings, then you just see when you start going out, you're not reacting how you used to react anymore. And there's no right or wrong way to even react. See, that's where I go. I go even into thinking like how you react to something is how you're meant to react. It's how you're meant to be. I don't know where I'm at now because I just let my soul speak. I let my heart just go right then. As long as you are not harming anyone else, because feeling is different to actions. You can allow yourself to feel, but don't take harmful actions towards other people, because that in its sense is not helping you. When you truly start to express and allow yourself to feel things, allow, why did that trigger me? Why am I sad? Why am I feeling joyous today? Allow it all out. You'll realize you'll start taking actions that are true to your being, that are true to you. You won't be taking actions that are based on someone else's beliefs or someone else's voice. It'll be from your own voice. Because when you start to feel and express yourself, you start to step out of that box that you put around yourself. Because you are the one that's boxed yourself. But you have the decision today to be like, I am going to feel everything that I feel. Even if it's uncomfortable, I'm going to do it. And you know what? You get to do it without telling anyone else. You can do it in the confinement of your own home. One single motion of, I'm going to start being true to myself, true to who I am, true to this being. I just want to be true. I don't want to be a fraud in my own home. I don't want to feel uncomfortable with my own emotions. I want to get to know my emotions. I want to understand them. I want to nurture them. This is my life. This is my journey. It doesn't have to be like everybody else's. Have a good week. Bye.